All right guys, welcome back. We got a whole video here on results. This gets requested a lot in the comments. You guys want to know how to measure your results, how to use your results to get their projects, why they're so important, how to think about it, all these sort of things. So I'm going to do a full video. It's going to be pretty in-depth. We'll break down a lot of different stuff. If you have any questions, let me know down below. If you get any value from the video, please like it, comment if you wish, and please share the video as well. So let's get into it. Results. What are results? And then I'm going to show you how to use the results, how to measure results. So first off, what is it? Results to me with a web design project is kind of two things, and they're both very, very closely connected. I would say it is the problems that you solve. So problems solved. And I would also say it's desirable outcomes. And I'll explain what that is in just 2 seconds. So desirable outcomes. Hopefully you guys can read that. So when you get a result for a website, you got to think, it's always tempting for us, and I did this for sure in the beginning, thinking about it from the web design perspective. I was like, okay, how fast is the page load? How many people are using the website per day? And I was always thinking in terms of metrics and being very like web design focused. When you launch a business, I think the most important stuff to focus on is thinking about it in terms of the business owner. You built it for a business owner. When they look at the website, what do they see? And what they're looking for and the results that they want to see for their own business and that you can use to sell to other businesses is the problems that the website solved and the desirable outcomes that the website got. So let's say you work with a business and they're not getting any sales at the moment or not enough sales. You build this great website and it's bringing in sales. So what problem did you solve there? You solved the problem of them getting no sales. What desirable outcome did you get them? Well, they're now getting more sales. So as I said, they're very, very closely connected. It's basically two sides of the same coin. Another example, let's say you worked with a business and they're not attracting the right sort of customer. So on this channel, I had that case study just before the end of last year. I was working with the boxing gym. That was their big problem, not getting the right customer. So I solved that problem and I got them a desirable outcome, which is they're now getting the right customer. So very closely connected, but the big thing is to be thinking about it from the business owner's perspective. You built it for a business, the business paid for it for their business. They want to see that it's improving their business, it's getting them closer to their goals, it's getting rid of their problems. So whenever we're talking about results or whenever you're thinking about results, think about it first from the business owner's perspective. What did you do for their business? What did you help solve or help create, or the value that you added to their business? And what problems did you remove? Did you reduce their time, their stress, their energy? Did you get rid of something they didn't want with the website, like the wrong sort of customer calling them, or people who weren't going to pay them enough, trying to use their services, something like that. So think of the problems that you're solving and the desirable outcomes that you got this business. Now, if you're still a little bit stuck with that, don't worry, we're going to cover that more in this video, show exactly how a business owner thinks. What I want to get into as I kind of show that is the different stages of results. So this definitely gets asked a lot. People want to know, when I launch a website, do I have to wait 3 months to get results? Do I have to wait 1 week? Do I have to wait a year? When do these results come, and what should I be looking for? So up here, these are our results, and down here is the time. So hopefully you guys can read this. So when we launch a project, let's just say like this is day 0 of launching a project. A lot of people think there's no results at this stage. Like the website just went live, there's no results. We gotta wait, a week, some people might say, or maybe a month or even 3 months to start seeing results. I would disagree with that. I would say there's actually quite a few results that the second the website goes live that you can already be looking at and you can already be using to land your next deal. So let's just say day 0, and again, I hope you guys can read this. So day 0, we start off here, website just went live 10 minutes ago. Okay, how could we possibly have results here? Again, back to this definition, look at the problems that we've solved and any desirable outcome that we've already gotten at this stage. So if you've launched a new website, you got to look at what was there before. If there was no website there before, then you already have tons of results. You've solved some problems. You got them a new website. On that website is now some information. There's a booking system maybe, there's a contact form, there's a telephone number, there's great pictures, there's good text. It's explaining what this business does. It's showing why people should work with this business. It's building trust. It's showing the business has experience, that they have authority in their niche, what their value is, what they do, who they help, how they help, what sort of results they get their customers, all these sort of things. So before anyone even uses the website, you've gotten a result. The result is that they now have a website that shows what they do. And even if they had a previous website, it's the same thing. You're now just doing it better. If they had an old website with old photos and old text, and now you have a better website, better images, better copywriting, better systems, better design that's easier for people to use, you've gotten results day zero. And there will be more results that comes later, but you need to straight away be focusing on this. When the website launches, be looking at it right away and go, okay, what did I do for this business? What problems did I solve? What desirable outcomes do I already have the second it's gone live? And how could I be using those to contact another business owner? So let's just say, random example, I built a website for a tow truck company. I don't know. So tow truck company, and it's day zero. It's just gone live. And they have no new sales or no new customers or anything from this thing. But I want to use that to contact other businesses. What could I do? Again, look at the website, look at what I've done. Have I made it easier for them to explain what they do? Have I made it easier for people to trust their business? Is there now better systems? Is the information easier to understand? Do I now have a map that they didn't have before? Do I have images of the different trucks? Do I have a better, phone call system for when people want to contact this business? They know the opening hours, they know the phone number to call, whatever it is. It's obviously going to depend on what you do, but there is a lot of results the very first day that you launch before there's any customers. So that is where you want to start with looking at the results of your projects. Day zero, the second it goes live, go through the website and just think about it in terms, again, of the business owner's perspective, the business's perspective. Compare it with what was there before and what you now have, and just look at okay, what is actually better already before anyone uses this thing compared to what was there before. If there was nothing there before, then it's going to be pretty easy to do that. But even if there is something previously there before, an old version, an older website, what's now better with the new website? Is it, again, easier to understand? Is it easier for people to make contact with this business? Did you build more trust? Did you build more authority? All these sort of things. So that's the very first kind of stage of results. Let's just call this number one is day zero, just what happens. The second you launch, what's already better? What problems have you already solved? What valuable outcomes have you already got? I would say the second stage is literally just a few days later. Let's just say, 3 to 7 days. It's probably going to be pretty hard to read from that distance. So within a week, I would say the next stage here is the initial market response. So let's just call this stage number 2. The initial market response. So this is literally it goes live, you give it a few days, and then you check back in with the business owner. You're like, hey, I just want to see how's it been going so far? What have people said about it? What do you think about it? What's your family and friends say about it? Definitely what the customers have been saying about it. And just see how the initial market response is. Maybe there's not going to be so many sales or money results just yet, but there should be a market response if they shared it on their Facebook page, if they sent it out to their email list, if they have a podcast and they put it out there. Even if they don't have those things, have they just already asked 1 or 2 customers how the new website has gone, or have they gotten 1 or 2 phone calls through the new website, and they can now tell an initial difference in the clients, the clients are this much more interested, or they're this much more aware of what we do, or they're this much closer to a sale, that sort of stuff. So you're not so much looking at did it get all these sales within 3 days? Maybe it got some sales, but sometimes it won't get any extra sales. But they can already see a change. They can see that, compared to what was there before, if there was nothing there before, they're now seeing that things are going a little differently. This new website is heading in a different trajectory. It's already getting better results. It's already solving some problems, and the market is responding different. The market's behaving different. Their ideal customers or ideal clients are in a different place after they've gone through this website. So I would say, and I'll go back through this at the end of the video, but the day it launches, do your first kind of round of results. Go through the website. What's already better? What have you already improved? What problems have you already solved? Then check in with your client after 3 to 7 days. a week, 2 weeks, whatever, that initial thing, and just like, hey, how's it been so far? How's the market responding? What are your clients saying? Have you noticed any differences? Have you noticed any improvements? And see what the client is saying, write it all down. Or if you send them an email, they send that email back, definitely save that email, keep it, because you're going to be using that stuff to prospect to other clients. And I'll get back into that at the end of this video. So, okay, we have day 0, we have like roughly a week, and then I would say roughly like 2 to 4 weeks, so basically a month. Handwriting is shocking when I'm writing sideways. So 2 to 4 weeks, it's time to check in and see if this thing's actually doing, what we designed it to do. So we had the day 0 stuff, we had a week roughly, and now we have around a month. So if you built this website to, get more sales, is it starting to get more sales? If you built this website to build more trust, are they starting to see that their customers now trust them more? If you built this website to have a better sales system that saves them time and effort, is that system now working? Are they seeing that they have more free time? Are they seeing that their customers are, just going through a better system? Whatever it is that the goal of the website was initially when you sold this website, are you starting to see those results come in? Now, this doesn't mean that what's happening here is going to be like the final level of results, but are they starting to see like this improvement of what you did versus what was there before? And by around 2 to 4 weeks, definitely 1 to 2 months, there should be an improvement. If you've built a website to get more sales, I keep using that example, but common example, if you built a website to get more sales and a month's gone by and a month to 2 months, they should be seeing some sort of boost in sales. So that's enough time to be out there, the market engaging with it, to see a change in reaction. Now, does that mean that like all the results are going to be in at this stage? No, because depending on the sales cycle for different businesses, it takes a different length of time. If you're selling something very small and fast, okay, within a month, maybe it's already working at like its peak level. But if you're selling something that takes a longer time, let's say a construction company, people might think about working with a construction company for 3 months, for 6 months, for a year before they take action. So, a month might not be enough to see the full extent of like the improvement that you've made. Maybe you'll see an initial one, but you are going to give it more time to see later. So there will be this initial 4th stage that can take, depending on the business, like I would say like 3 to 12 months plus. And this is just a longer stage. It depends. I want to give another example here. I worked with immigration lawyers. I did quite a few websites for them. And they would see, okay, improvements day 0. A week in, they would see the markets responding better. People are saying they like the new website. Customers on the phone are, better understanding of what they do, how they help people, the different sorts of visas, all those sort of things. 1 month in, they're starting to see that they're getting sales easier, they're getting more people interested, they're getting a higher conversion rate. But it wasn't until like a year later that they seen like, I don't want to say the peak because it's not like it dropped off, but they seen like the full extent of the value of the website. That there is people who were thinking about using these immigration lawyers who, checked out the website, let's say within a few weeks, but they didn't sign up to use the service for like 4 to 6 months or to 8 months or to 9 months or a year until they're ready to use the service. So the website was working all along, but the work that it was doing here didn't show up till like a year later. So it will depend on some businesses how long the sales cycle is until you see the full extent of the results. So what do we have here? We basically have 4 kind of different stages with different types of results and different like timelines when those results show up. So day 0 stuff, week 1, let's say, month 1, and like year 1, just like rough sort of figures. Now, let's look at it from our perspective. We're a web design business owner. We want to be using results and leveraging the results that we get for businesses to get more sales. If we're waiting for a year to get results that we can use them to get the next sale, we're going to improve our business very, very slowly. We're basically going to have to do a ton of work right now, wait a year for that work to show up in the businesses we worked with, then take those results, then get better clients, and then wait another year for those better clients to get better results, and then wait another year. It's like, it's too long. If you're waiting that long to use your results and leverage your results, you're going to be growing your web design business like so slowly. it's going to take a long, long time to see like, you know, the compounding effect of you getting good results for your clients. So what you need to do is move that time scale back and focus more on this window here. I'll come back to the long-term results in a second, but really you want to be focusing on the results that you get like within a month. So you need to be looking at these 3 stages. This one is great, and again, I'll cover this more in a few seconds because you can come back to this over time and use these as really good case studies. But to see like fast growth, let's say over the next few months, over this year, you got to be working in this window here. You got to very quickly see what your website's doing for people, take those great results, and then leverage those results as much as you can to get bigger, better deals. So to kind of recap these again and show you how to use these like very, very fast, when you launch any website, the first day that it launches, or you know, the next day, whatever, but as soon as possible, break it down in your head. What have you done? What have you helped this business owner with? Before the market responds, you know, let's say in here, just focus on this straight away. So what have you done? You launched a website. What's on that website? How is what's on the website solving problems for the business and getting them some sort of desirable outcome? Now, it's not going to do everything because we got to wait later for the market to respond, but it will be doing some stuff. Have you made it easier? Have you made it faster? Have you made it better? Have you built more trust? Have you made it easier to sell? Have you made it easier for people to see their experience? Do you have better images? Is your copywriting better? Is the layout better? Does it look more professional? Does it look more high-end? Like, look at the website, just the website itself. Look at the previous website, or if there's no version of the website, compare those 2 things. And I don't want to say get creative because that's the wrong word. You're not trying to create results, but just like look at everything. Look at what's there now, what was there before, and really like, what have you done here? You know, be proud of the work that you've done and look for the best results. Again, in terms of the business, this like page speed stuff and analytics, it's important to study that and kind of know what you're doing there. But I think when it comes to selling, you really want to focus on things from the business perspective. Like, how is this business getting value straight away from this better website? Then look at how the market responds between the first week and the first month. Check in with the business owner. During this time, the first month, I would say check in like 2 or 3 times by email or have a phone call, whatever it is, and just ask them those sort of questions. Hey, how's it going? What have people been saying? Have you noticed any improvements so far? How have sales been? Have you noticed it's been easier to get sales? You know, how are the clients reacting? What feedback are you getting? What do you think yourself? What does anyone who works for the business say? All this sort of stuff. Nice open-ended questions, get them talking and get that feedback and see what they're saying, see how the market's responding, and again, seeing what problems you've solved, what desirable outcomes you've gotten. Now, this stuff, like a year later, that's great. As your web design grows, you're going to use this type of results to grow as fast as possible. But, you know, at some point in the future, your web design business is going to be around for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and you still want to check back in with people and get these big case studies. So you check back in a year later, hey, you know, seeing how the year's been, how's the website been? You might hear these crazy figures like, oh, you know, the website's helped so much, like we got this huge big sale, and then in June, you know, we got 20 more customers this June than we did last June, and this sort of stuff. Those things are great for leveraging for sales, of course, but again, in the short term, you really got to be using this stuff because you're going to be waiting a lot of time to hear about these results. So this is what you want to use, and maybe I'll even split this up into 2 videos, but it's these results here, like what's happened day 0, what problems have you solved, then between the first week and the first month, what's the market saying, what differences are happening in the business, like are they getting more sales, are they getting better sales, are they heading in the direction that they wanted to when they paid for this project originally, and what you're going to do with all these results, what you're trying to kind of create, your overall plan here is basically this, and this is what you're going to take to other businesses, not just these 2 letters. I'll explain this obviously. What you're looking for is this overall kind of story or this overall pitch or like a compressed version of all this stuff, because this is going to be a lot of, like, let's say data. It's a lot of feedback. People are going to be telling you a lot of different things, and you got to take all of this information and bring it to another client or another potential client and quickly kind of like communicate the value. You don't want to ring up a potential client and you're like, hey, I built this website for someone, and here's like the 50 different things that it did over here and over here and over here. No one's really going to listen to that. It's too much information. So what you need to do is, from everything that you're getting here, you need to create the sellable story. And the sellable story is basically point A to point B. So before they worked with you, this is where the client was. They were stuck, there was problems, there was issues, they were stressed, they weren't getting the results that they want in their business, they were wasting time, they were wasting energy, they were very frustrated, they had tried to fix this problem before and they had failed. So this like very like not good point A, like things are not good here, they're not happy, they were looking for a change, they were in this bad situation, they were feeling this, they had these sort of results in their business, they couldn't get to this next level. So that's like the point A. Then people work with you and they have this transformation in their business through the website and they get to point B. And point B is basically you taking all of this information that you're getting back and making a story. And I don't want to say like, don't think of it as a story as in like it's fake, but more like a newspaper story. You're taking which these days sometimes can be fake, but a real newspaper story where you're taking like the best parts of the story and you're making it like sellable. So you're not focusing on all the little data that's way too much and just people zone out. You're taking like the top stuff out of this that's the most sellable, the most desirable, the most like, emotionally impactful, and you're creating this different picture. And point B is obviously not like point A. It's much more like of a happy place. Like they're getting the sales, they're getting the results, the business is easier to run, things are moving forwards, people are happy, business owners having the best time ever. He's had this great result in the business, or she's getting, huge difference out of this website. So point A absolutely sucks. Point B is like this amazing new place where you got them. And then you're like using the top things that have happened in here to basically back it up with something like. So to kind of give you a real example, let's just say, because this is all on the YouTube channel, the previous videos. So this boxing gym that I did, and hopefully you guys have seen this video, it's the last few videos on this channel, I worked with them. So what was point A? Point A was this guy started a new boxing gym. Things weren't going so well. He was getting a lot of people contacting him who weren't his ideal sort of customer. And with Corona, he's now unable to do group lessons anyway. So for him, he was in this bad place where he wasn't working with the ideal one-on-one clients that he wanted. And his business was in a tricky spot where it just wasn't moving forward. And it was actually probably, I don't want to say failing because it wasn't failing, but it was in a bad spot. Like it wasn't making as much as it should be or it could be. And he wanted to get that changed. So point B, we built this website for the boxing gym. And, we explained exactly why he's the best coach, how good his lessons are, great equipment. This guy can get you really good results when you do his boxing lessons. So now he's in point B where his phones are ringing all the time with ideal clients. He's fully booked. His lessons are back on track and his business is growing. So that like story, which is true, is very sellable when I contact another boxing gym or I contact another personal trainer or I contact another coach in a different sort of niche. It's for them, it's a very relatable story. I basically have a business that I worked with that was in a bad place, not working with the right sort of clients that they wanted, not having those sort of clients contacting them, and then obviously not getting the sales because they're not even contacting them in the first place. But we built a website that did all these things, and now they're working with the ideal clients at their ideal price. Their phones are just ringing off the hook, and they're just like cruising with business. They're fully booked, fully happy in the direction they want to go. That's like the sellable story. That's what you need to be doing with your websites as well, is looking at this data. What's happening here? What problems have you solved? What desirable outcomes have you gotten? Looking at these different stages and then using that to craft a story that's very sellable to other people that you contacted. You worked at this previous business or previous businesses. They were all stuck in this A place that totally sucked, but you, through your website, got them to point B, and point B is getting them all these desirable results, which you're finding out through like the best results that are coming from these different stages. So I know that's a lot. Usually I would teach this over a couple of hours. I'm compressing it down pretty fast. I'm going to leave it at that. If you have any questions on this, let me know. I'm sure that you do. So just post it down below. I'll try to get to all the questions that I can. And if you guys want another video on this or something pretty similar, just let me know down below as well. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys could read all this and that I explained it good enough. And I'll catch you in the next video.